All right, this is a juicy one. I'm certain if you're in the video game world or whatever, you've heard about this recent news about Epic Games, where they've basically agreed to pay hundreds of millions of dollars for unwanted transactions in Fortnite. A lot of parents and people have been complaining that they have been tricked essentially into paying for microtransactions. And do I believe people are tricked into paying for said microtransactions? Yes, 100%. Of course I do. If you know me on this channel, you know how I feel about microtransactions. They're not going away anytime soon. And the amount, I believe, is $245 million at least that Epic Games has agreed to pay, which is kind of like a drop in the bucket for them at this point. They are worth billions upon billions of dollars, so I'm sure they're happy to pay this, as a means of basically keeping people quiet and happy. It's hush money, essentially. But this whole controversy that's come up has kind of made me realize a couple of things. The first thing is that I am 100% correct. I've been saying for years how microtransactions are predatory by nature, that they target your children, that they prey upon the neurodivergent, that they will only get worse and worse and worse as long as we as a community continue to let it happen. And the more complicit we get, the more these companies will continue to try to find new ways to bleed you dry. This is not a surprise that this has happened. This is just a fact that it is a reality that we live in now in the video game industry. But the other thing it made me realize about this is that even though most people are complicit and just deal with this issue, it doesn't mean I personally, as a dad, as a father, have to be okay with this issue. I truly believe that when my son is old enough and wants to play video games, that if he were to right now, let's say hypothetically, he's 4 or 5 years older than what he is right now, and he asked me if it's okay if he plays Fortnite, I think I would tell him no, and I don't think I want to allow those types of games in my household, and that doesn't just count for my kid, but I think that I have to be accountable for these things as well. I've actually talked to my wife about this, and we're both kind of on the same page that these free-to-play games can get really ugly in terms of how much you can spend really quick if you're not careful. So when I say I don't think I'm going to let my son play Fortnite, I kind of mean it. And it's not just Fortnite that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about other games like Genshin Impact, for example, or even games that aren't necessarily free to play. Games like the new Mortal Kombat 1 with all of its wonderful, juicy coins you can collect, or the dragon coins, or whatever they're called. The stupid microtransactions that filter that game, or any Call of Duty for that matter, that you pay $70 for a full price game and you're still treated with unnecessary DLC stuff that you can buy, ridiculous skins, microtransactions, loot boxes, battle passes, you name it, man. These are the type of games in general that I do not want my son in the future getting affiliated with or becoming very accustomed to, because it's a very slippery slope. And yes, I could really try to just moderate, and I will definitely be explaining to him how these microtransactions are invasive. But at the same time, it's a really difficult and arduous task as a parent to be able to monitor every single thing your kids are playing and what they're doing, especially online, and it's only going to get worse. As like I said with microtransactions, they're only going to get worse. And look, I'm not condemning you, if you're a parent and you let your kids play Fortnite or Fall Guys or Rocket League or something like that. I'm not doing that. Look, you're the parent, and if you can monitor and explain this to them and you're okay with them playing these games, that's your choice, and that's 100% fine. There's no way you're a bad parent by any means if you let your kid play Fortnite. I have a brother. He lets his kids play Fortnite all the time in Rocket League, and they're pretty dang good at those games, actually. Do I think he's a bad dad? Absolutely not. He's a great dad. My brother is an awesome dad. He takes care of his boys. He's a great father. So no, I'm not condemning people if you let your kid play Fortnite, because each one of us is different. We each have our levels of what we're okay with. And for me personally, I just don't know if I feel like I'm okay with letting my son play these games for various amounts of reasons, and I haven't even begun to disclose all of those reasons on this video. It's just we're each different, and we're each trying to do the best we can as parents, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Whether or not it is the best solution is up for you to decide, because at the end of the day, you're the parent, not me. You can decide what is best for your kids, just like I'm going to decide what is best for my kids. And sometimes, shockingly enough, our views aren't going to align here. But in this particular case, I do feel strong enough to say that in the future, in this household in particular, I might not be able to control everything that goes on in the gaming industry, but I can definitely control what is getting played in my household in games like Fortnite and Fall Guys and Rocket League and Pokemon Go and Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. These types of games will no longer be allowed, just because I do not like what they have become, and I do not like the predatory nature and what microtransactions can bring to the table, because from all the research I have done and everything I have seen and witnessed from these, it is nothing good. Well, that's my take right now on this whole thing. Like I said, I'm not trying to tell you how to be a parent, and I'm definitely not condemning you. I am sure there are plenty of parents out there that love Fortnite, love playing it with their kids as a method of bonding, and I'm sure they don't even spend money on microtransactions, and hey, that's great. More power to you. Like I said, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just giving you a different perspective, a different take. And now I'd like to pass the question off to you guys, especially if you're a parent. What do you do when it comes to games like Fortnite? Do you let your kids play? Do you let them only play for a little while? Have you explained to them like how microtransactions work? What is the best way you think about going about this? Because like I said, this is just my ideas going forward, and when my kid's ready to play Fortnite, it'll be 3 to 4 years, and I don't even know how the video game industry is going to be in that time. So I would love to hear from the parents out there. What is their approach to handling games with battle passes and all of these extra expenditures that you can have at your fingertips? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, guys. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.